So last night I got a message from Henry telling me that he was going to leave me something on my desk, and I guess this is what it is. The project is going to be making some aprons. He's got this special event that he has to go to, and there's about 19 kids that are going to get aprons. So in this episode, we're going to do a 2-for. So you're going to learn how to program the machine with when you're making multiple names. And also I'm gonna show you how to digitize it so that you don't have to keep saving and importing. So we're gonna do the name drop feature on Chroma Lux. So I think this is gonna be a very exciting episode. Let's check these out. These are...
All right, first things first. Before I do anything in Chroma or any type of embroidery, I need to see what space I'm working with. So I'm gonna have to measure the apron. They range in size from small to large, and we need to know the exact space that we're working with so that we have just one general template. Let me clear this up, and then we'll be right back. Here are the aprons. Again, they range from small to large, so I'm gonna measure the small one. If anything fits on the small one, it should be okay for the large as well. One thing to keep in mind is when we're making these names, I don't want the names to be bigger than the others. So some kids' names are about 8 letters and others are approximately 4. I'm going to be consistent with my letter size so that across the board, everybody's gonna have the same font. They're gonna have the same size, just so that nothing stands out. You don't wanna make it too big or too small. So we're gonna pick a happy medium, and we're gonna do that through Chroma. So first, we're gonna measure the space that we're working with. And look at this nice little apron. We're gonna go somewhere right in between here. I wanna be approximately 2 inches away from the top, or maybe 3. That 3 looks about right. So the height is not really the issue, it's the width. The width is what we need to worry about. So here's the name, and just like anything else, when you put the name on a shirt or an apron, you don't wanna go too low. You wanna keep the perspective and the proportions correct. So here I'm gonna make the names right at the 3-inch mark, and I am working with approximately, it's about 9 inches, but we're gonna keep it about an inch away from here, an inch away from there. So my working area is going to be 7 inches. In Chroma, I'll make my hoop by 7 by 3, because I don't want the name to be bigger than 2 inches. So really, a 7 by 2 would be fine. So that's what I'm gonna make my own virtual hoop in Chroma, and I'm gonna keep every name in the same parameters. Now, this name here happens to be one of the biggest names of the group, and so if the scale fits this name, then it's going to fit every single one of them. So as you can see here, it's still within the 2-inch mark. All right, it's still in the 2-inch, and it is also within the 7-inch mark. So this is about a 5.5-inch design. So if this is my biggest name, then I'm very well prepared when I do my 7 by 3 inch or 7 by 2. So 7 by 2 is going to be a great amount of space, and I will be using my 4.5 by 13 mighty hoop to do this project. Just going to scoop it across the side with one piece of cutaway backing. It's going to be nice. You know, one thing I got to tell you, whoever put this package together did a great job, because they not only put the names on all the hoops, they kind of told me exactly what color they wanted for each apron, or they put the names on the apron. They pretty much scaled it to the size that they wanted. So they've done all the thinking for me. All I have to do is just match the size and digitize. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's open up Chroma and start digitizing. Now that we've got the aprons measured, we're going to set up our template. Remember that the template would have been from 7 to 2, a 2 by 7 square. So if I go to my side ruler on the left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to drag it to 2.5. And I'm going to take another one, drag that to 2.5 as well. And then I'll go from the top and drag that down to the 1-inch mark and drag it down to the negative 1-inch mark. So now I have my 2 by 7 square. When I spoke to Henry, we talked about the Amarillo text. So that's the text that we wanted, and you can see right there, Amarillo. It's a very nice text. So what you want to do is you want to set up your text first. So all you need to do is write one first name. So we're going to write the first name. We're going to click apply. Now, while it's still highlighted, under the size of the text, we're going to say that the height of the text, we want it to be 1.5 inches. All right, so now we have that established, and here we'll just set it to 0. We don't have to do this, but this is just so that we can see it sitting within. So this is how it sits in our template. Now that we have this, we are going to go to the selection tool and have this highlighted. So we know what our text is. This is the text that we're going to be doing. So I could save this as a DST file. Go to File, save it as a DST file. But now I would have to, if you have Inspire, the way to do it with this is you would type in the name, just like that, Benjamin, and then you would save it. So once I save this, let's just go to a different folder. Let's create a new folder. Name drop 2, create, and I'm going to save Benjamin under name drop 2. So now as I go through the list of names, I can just take the name, I can highlight this and do another name. So I type in the next name and I hit apply, and here I would just go file, save as, and save it as, change the name here and make sure that you save it as a DST file. All right, and then we can go here, change the name. Let's go to the next name, and I'm just picking the names out at random. So now I click apply. So this is how you would do it with Inspire. Now I'm saving each of them individually. Save as, and then I would change the name here and make it sure it's a DST file, so it goes on the machine. So this is one way to do it. Now, once you're done with that, you could open a new file, and you would start copying and pasting and building up your letters one on top of the other. So you can either do it this way, or you go to the text tool, pick another text box again, and now you write the next name. And click apply. Then we would click the text tool again, click the text tool, let's get out of there, we're gonna click away, click the text tool, and let's write the next name. So this is one way to do similarly what we did before with the name drop, or before we get into the name drop, this is one way to do it if you have Inspire. So every single one of these, you would group it, you would group them individually. All right, and now when it embroiders, it's going to embroider just like that. And you would want to separate them by color. So we do the first name, the second name, but you want to separate it by color so that as the machine embroiders, it stops. You can put pauses on each color. So this is one way to do it, but there's an easy way to do it, which is why we are here today. So if we go to the name drop area, these are all the names already ready to go. But the way you do this is you would select your text, you would select the size of your text, and then once you have all that selected, you're going to go to Tools, and you're going to go to Name Drops right here. And in the name drop file, this is where you're going to write in all the names of your customers or your clients. So we don't need line B, we just need one line. And in this line right here, this is where you would start writing everything. So here we would start writing the names in. So right there, you can see you're just typing in the names, and once you're done, you hit create. So now these are the names that I just created with that name drop. and notice that they are all here. They're already grouped. So here you can just select a group and pick a color, select the next group, pick a different color. Or if they are all going to be multiples of the same color, you can always just keep them the same color because the machine will stop and pause in between each of them. But this is one way for you to remember what color they're supposed to be. So let's say we have these names. So now when it embroiders, it's going to do all the red letters first, so that way you don't have to be switching colors. Then it's going to do all the green ones, and then all the yellow ones. So this is one way to add names to a list. And the beauty about this one is that I only have to save one file. So I can just go to File, go to Save As, and now I have my name drop, the complete name drop, and that's it. So that's one way to use the name drop tool. It's just a matter of typing in. You select your text first, you select the size, and once you have all that done, you just go to the name drop again at Tool, name drop, and just type everything in. It asks you to select the text or object. So once you do that, it has everything, and you're going to set your text and the type, and that's it. So now let's go run these things on the machine. Digitizing is done. I just have to save it to my USB. Now you can send it directly through Wi-Fi to your machine, but I'm old school. I like my USBs. Right at the top, I have my name drop folder, and in that name drop folder is one DST file with all the names. You can see it's 68,000 stitches and 23 colors. That means there's 23 steps. So we're going to click on it and hit Options and save it to the machine. When we go to the machine side, we can just look up, and it should be one of the last ones I did. There it is. That's a name drop, and we're going to select it. It's a good idea to take a picture of the run sheet when you're going to input the colors into the machine. Now, because I'm doing several different colors, I will need to separate them. And the way I digitized it, as you saw, I've separated them into colors so that it's going to make this a little bit easier. So when we go to the color, the panel is going to show you all the designs. Now, you might see on your run sheet that there are some ghost images, which is an image that does not have anything on it. So step one is actually kind of a ghost. There's nothing there. So we're just going to pick the color red. Once we go to the next one, it's going to say the first name. And as I pick the names, I will also organize my aprons in the same way so that I don't mess up. So I want to make sure that every apron goes in line with this. So the first name is Emma. We're going to pick the red. The next name is Rafa. So we're going to pick red. And we're going down the list. So number 4 is going to be Olivia, which is red as well. 5 is red, 6 red, 7 red. Now 8 is a ghost one, but it's going to go with the cream color. So we have a ghost color, so we're just going to do that. And then 9 and 10 are the cream. 9 and 10. Now we're on 11, so we're going to go to the next side. 11 is also a ghost. So you can see every time it switches colors, it kind of gives you a ghost image. And this is part of the name drop so that you pause in between. Oh, speaking of pause, I do want to add a pause to every single color so that when it's done doing the image, it stops and I can move on to the next one. We could leave it in automatic manual as well. So if you left it in automatic manual, after every single color stop, it would stop. But just to make sure, I'm going to put it on pause. So the next one, 11, is the brown. 12 is also brown, 13 brown. Then we go to the 14, and guess what? We have that little ghost color. So on 14, we have the ghost color, and that's going to be my royal blue. And everything down, all the way down to 21 is going to be royal blue. So we can just go blue, blue, blue. I'm blue, ba-ba-dee-ba-da-da. Okay, so now we're at 22. 22 is the yellow. So now the last two are going to be my little yellow color right there, and that is all. Before I do that, though, I do want to put the pause on all the images. So I will put the pause. We're just going to pause and select. There's no way to select pause on all of them. Typically, you don't need to do this. And if we leave it in automatic manual mode, it'll automatically pause for us. Remember, the tennis panel is so good because it tells you have to select your design. Then you select your hoop. And we're going to do a custom hoop, and it's the 4x13 horizontal hoop. We're going to select it, hit yes. And this is going to be perfect. One of the reasons why it's really important to have your run sheet and know the order is because, look, it's just a jumbled mess. But once you start, it's just going to go knocking off the names one at a time. So right now, we're going to organize the aprons in the correct name order. And once we have everything organized, we'll start hooping and embroidering. We can just set it up, put it in embroidery mode, and we're good to go. We kind of run at about 700 and, 700. Let's go at 700. That's a decent speed. Anytime you're doing fine lettering, you want to go too fast. So this is perfect. Let's go hoop the apron. All right, I've got my run sheet pulled up, and we're going to start off. We're going to put them in starting order. So first one we have is Emma. Then we have Rafa, Manu, Olivia. Look how cute this is. Look how small this is. That's a small compared to a large. You see the difference? But like I said before, if you look at the chest plate, it's almost the same. So I'll be okay doing the area that I allocated for this is going to be perfect. And we'll be using the universal adapter. So once that hoop is done, I'll be able to set it up. But we'll take the universal adapter, put it in, throw the backing on it, and you'll see it's going to be perfect. The apron, I'm going to have the edges right on the apron like this. It's going to hoop, and every single apron is going to be hooped the exact same way, and the name is going to be in the same position on every single one of them. So that's what the advantage of these Mighty Hoop systems are. It's going to be perfect. The bottom hoop goes down here. Oh, you just have to make a slight adjustment. There you go. So now this is set. We're going to take our backing. We've got the little wings lifted up. We're going to place our backing right over it and then close it. This is going to hold it in place for us. So the station, we know exactly where the center is. We're going to take our design or our apron. Let's just reposition the backing. Remember, we haven't committed yet, so we're okay. If I see where the edge of the hoop is, so if I actually put it right underneath this, I think it'll be perfect just like that. We'll line it up. We'll put it right underneath this little thing, and that's going to set it up right in the center, as you can see right there. So that's going to be our marker. All right, so we're going to do that. We know where the center is. We're going to place it right at the base of the little blue clip. Center it on the hoop. Make sure it's nice and straight. And now we'll start with the bottom. See how I put the bottom first? And then just let it go. That's perfect. All right, so we're going to make sure that we hoop every single one of them the same way. We're right in the center of the hoop, and the name is going to be right around the middle. So this is perfect. Now we can take this off, and let's go do Emma. If I had another hoop, I'd be hooping the next one and getting it ready, but I don't. This is the only one I have. See, that's why it's good to have a pair. But in the meantime, while this is happening, I can go digitize something or clean up the workshop a little bit. But, try to stay busy while you're letting this do its thing. Oh, wow, that looks great. Look at that. It came out right in the center. We have one of 19 done, so now it's just a matter of to get the other ones done. Kind of snap it in place. There it is. we're ready to make the delivery. Remember,
See you guys later.